What's going on, dudes and dudettes? Yes, once again, just took a shower, so of course, skin is all on the fritz, but hopefully we can all get past that, get onto this news. So yes, as of right now, it looks like Isaiah Pola-Mao, safety for USC football, is going to return for next season. He had an option to maybe leave a little bit early because he was getting some draft love, but to be honest, I don't think he's really ready yet. I don't know, because he's so inconsistent to me. He could be a lot better and should be a lot better, especially where he was ranked coming out of high school from Arizona. But I don't know, I just don't see it. And he's supposed to be a descendant of Troy Polamalu's family, but I don't know. It's kind of hit and miss there. But glad it at least shores up the safety position because USC is losing a lot of talent there. And then USC also did get a transfer from Colorado, the wide receiver KD Nixon. He's one of their veteran wide receivers. He could have left last year apparently to the draft, but decided to return. Ended up getting a hamstring injury, and because of COVID and stuff, he has that extra year of eligibility, so he's going to use it with the USC Trojans, and it's good. You know, add some veteran presence. He's more of a faster guy, even though he's like 5'8". But USC doesn't really technically have a lot of down the field threat fast guys, except for maybe Gary Bryant Jr. out of Corona Centennial. But yeah, it'd be nice to add him, even though USC is stacked with wide receivers. But definitely with this air raid offense, you could use up to 5 to 6 receivers a game sometimes. And then yes, our old buddy, old pal Phillip Rivers has finally decided to call it quits and retire the other day. I mean, it's a couple seasons too short in my opinion. Yeah, he had some yards and stats here and there to make it look nice, and he's most likely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I always think he's going to have a better career as a coach, which is exactly what he's doing right away next offseason, or I think this end of this year coming up, he's going to go coach some team in Alabama, some high school team. So at least he's going down that path like what I've always been saying, and yeah, we'll see what he can do, but definitely glad he's finally gone and away from the Chargers, but somewhat appreciated him while he was there. I wish everybody always gives him credit for playing with a torn ACL in that AFC Championship game against the Patriots, but dude, you're the reason why we lost. Billy Volek won the previous game against the Colts in an upset. Why not stick with him and try to see what they can do with a healthier quarterback? But whatever, people want to give him credit for playing like that, that's fine. See you later, buddy. Now, Larry Scott, he is the commissioner of the Pac-12 conference, but earlier this week, he said he's parting ways with the conference. But it seems like he's still going to stay out his contract till about June. But other than that, you know, the conference really does need a better voice out there, especially to get more time in front of people, to be able to get ranked higher when it comes to football or even basketball. So they have different play windows so they can play earlier for the East Coast people. And yeah, it makes sense. They need to hire most likely someone from the SEC. They're looking at a lot of athletic directors from there, even an older guy who's retired right now, Oliver Luck, who helped bring up the Big 12 as well. So should be interesting to see who they get, and hopefully they help out this conference because it's much needed. Then yes, the Anaheim Ducks played the other day and finally got their first win of the season against Minnesota, and it was only 1-0, so I guess it was good defense, a shutout for Gibson, but yeah, just 1-0. And then I think they lost yesterday, so right now they are 1-3 on the season, which isn't great. And then they got some even better news during that game when they found out John Manson is out for another 6 weeks with an oblique injury. I don't even know where that's located on the body, but yeah, it sucks because especially that's going to be like 20 plus games he misses most likely. And yeah, it's not looking good for the Anaheim Ducks right now, but we'll see what they can do. We'll see. Then USC has officially made an offensive line hire. They hired Clay McGuire. I think he's from like Arkansas State or some weird small school like that, but he is a veteran when it comes to coaching in the air raid offense, especially the offensive line. He did it at Washington State, where that offense is very popular, and knew the offensive coordinator Graham Harrell out there. So hopefully this can help out the offensive line. You know, at least they're being better coached in the scheme and the way that offense is supposed to be played unlike what they were probably there, why they committed there. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's good positive news. I'm pretty sure other Pac-12 teams are laughing at USC right now. But yes, USC did also lose their quality control analyst. I don't even know what that is for USC, but they're one of their ex-great linebackers, Hayes Pollard, was in that role for USC. But now he's actually joining the defensive coaching staff of the New York Jets, which is pretty awesome for him. So I'm glad he's at least getting an opportunity. Maybe it's with the linebackers coach, or maybe it's just something else. But hey, that's great that USC was still able to hire someone, an ex-player in their school, and then luckily he's able to get another job opportunity in the NFL right now. So that's cool for him. I think USC should always rehire ex-players because they sound like great analysts on TV. They might as well be next great coaches for them at USC, in my opinion. Then when it comes to the Chargers, yes, they made some hires, not so many big ones as of late, but a couple of key guys they did get. They stole the Raiders tight end coach, Frank Smith. So, I mean, whoever is the tight end for the Chargers, we'll find out. They're probably going to let go of Hunter Henry. They don't want to pay him, and they might have to draft a guy. But he basically produced Darren Waller from what I know, and Darren Waller is one of the top 3, definitely top 4 tight ends out there in the NFL right now. So not bad to steal him from your competition, but he's going to be coming as a run game coordinator. So I don't know exactly if he's going to be working with the tight ends, but at least it's still an offensive role. And then they did take a Bears defensive line coach, excuse me, Jay Rodgers, and they didn't specify he's going to be coaching the defensive line, but they did say that he is going to have a role with the Chargers. So we'll see if it's the same thing, or maybe it's the defensive coordinator spot. We don't know yet, but I'm pretty sure I heard that USC is still looking at their main offensive coordinator and defensive coordinators. They're looking at some interviews coming up later today as well. And then the last coach, they did get an ex-Rams coach. I forget what he was doing there, but Joe Barry, he's going to be now the linebackers coach and a defensive coordinator analyst, something like that. So luckily you're able to poach another LA coach away from the Rams, and the Rams actually blocked the Chargers from interviewing the offensive coordinator who Coach Staley wanted to get to come to the Chargers as well from the Rams. But yeah, we'll see what they can do. Should be pretty interesting to see who else this guy can get. He definitely knows a lot of good people, it seems. And then USC basketball, they sadly had to cancel the next couple of games, especially once again against Stanford. They've been trying, the first time they got canceled because of COVID is they were playing Stanford, and now the second time they get canceled because of COVID was when they're playing Stanford. And I believe one of the people in their program is the one that has the virus of USC. So they didn't specify who, of course. They don't have to, but yeah, just sucks you have to wait. They were on a pretty good roll, even though they had lost recently, but we'll see what they can do after that. An ex-USC shooting guard who was drafted in the first round, Kevin Porter Jr., he's had a lot of off the basketball court stuff, especially when it comes to the off season. Like, I think he got arrested a couple times. They said he had a possession of a weapon when he didn't have the right information for it, and something about an altercation with a woman as well. All that happening in Cleveland. So Cleveland said they're either going to trade him or release him, and it looks like they found a trade partner in the Houston Rockets, who are kind of in a pretty much a rebuilding mode. Even though they got a couple nice pieces, they're still in rebuilding mode. So they're able to take him on and see what else he can do, and maybe if not, he probably is going to get waived again. But it seems like it might be his last chance, or second to last chance, to stay in the NBA, but hopefully he can. He is a pretty talented player. Then, of course, this article came out on Bleacher Report's USC feed, even though I've been saying this the past 3 to 4 years sometimes, especially since I've been doing these YouTube videos, is that USC needs to hire this coach from Iowa State and Matt Campbell. I just felt like he was going to be one of the top guys in my mind for USC, just because of what he can do with a smaller school like Iowa State and make big upsets against Oklahoma or Texas, other teams like that in the Big 12. And of course, USC did not take a chance to hire him the past couple of seasons. And yeah, now they're saying that in December they're supposedly going to hire this guy. That's what one reporter is saying. But you never know. Hopefully it does happen, but I definitely think he can turn around this program, even though he's not a big name like a Urban Meyer or something like that that people want. I think he's the correct guy to do it, though, in my opinion. Then yes, the Lakers did beat the Milwaukee Bucks. It was a pretty big primetime game on TNT, everything like that. LeBron versus Giannis, champion against the last two MVPs and everything like that. And yeah, luckily the Lakers were able to get the W, 113-106. And they seemed pretty much in control most of the game. They were down a little bit. They never got down by more than 10 points, I believe it seemed. But yeah, it was a pretty nice, close game going back and forth. And then Lakers eventually got a lead and were able to keep it. And LeBron hit a clutch three as well. I think he had like 34 points in total and was like 6 of 10 from the 3-point line as well, which is pretty awesome for him. It's weird how he's getting older, but his shooting is getting better compared to when he entered the league, which is crazy. But yeah, overall, AD had under 20. I think he had like 18 or 19, which is kind of, he even said himself lately that he's sucking right now, but hopefully he can turn it around, because as we know right now, he's not injured. So maybe it's just more of a mental thing or physical thing that he's just tired. So hopefully he can get it through. And then I think KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, had like 21 points on just 3-pointers alone. So yeah, Lakers shot very well from the three. Were able to get the W. Put Giannis in foul trouble at times, and were able to do like a block defense, a wall defense, and not let him get through. So yeah, it was good to see. Hopefully they can keep it going. I know they're undefeated on the road so far, which is pretty crazy, but they've had long away road trips away from LA and then had to come back and play either the very next day or even 2 days from then. So it's a pretty tough schedule for them. And then I think right now they're on a road game series, like they have to travel like 7,500 miles or something like that on the road. Usually I think this is the time when like the Grammys or something like that is happening in LA, and even though I don't think it is happening, they're still on the road, which is pretty crazy that they still kept that schedule. But yes, luckily they got the victory against a big team like that, and they're definitely number one in the West, might be number one overall in the NBA right now, record-wise, and top defensive team as well. So it's great for the Lakers right now. And yeah, I think we're getting pretty close to the sad anniversary of Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and everyone else that was involved in that plane crash's death. But I'm sure I'll do a video on that when it happens sooner. But I think today, it was either today, tomorrow, or yesterday was the anniversary of when he scored 81 points as well, which is freaking crazy against the Toronto Raptors at home. It's an awesome. It's like only like 11 minutes on YouTube if you want to watch like the full highlights. It's just crazy to actually have in-game footage, unlike the 100-point game that Wilt Chamberlain supposedly had. But yeah, it's just crazy to see how many of those shots actually went in, and it just looked too easy. And it really wasn't all by 3 points. There were like some old-fashioned and 3 points, but yeah, it's just awesome to see. I'm actually gonna watch it in a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. But yeah.